There's a lot that goes into prostitution actually. There's what they call the game. It's like the rules of prostitution. So they have certain rules that they kind of abide by and they have to kind of go by and stuff like that. If you look at their mannerisms and body language, or if you look at some of the cars, you can see some of the flashy cars that are more than likely pimps. Yeah. And like I said, especially like if you go to Western, same thing. You'll have your pimps out there as well.
Have I met you before, Bonilla?
Bonilla? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, my name is Tom Sieber. Nice to
All
meet
right,
you.
likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
And I appreciate you giving people warnings instead of tickets, and I appreciate being so friendly.
Not a problem. I appreciate it. You know what? I'm cool with it.
All right. Well,
sometimes I'll say, hey, I got to stop because I'm doing this, trying to train my partner here, all right?
All right. Well, it's nice meeting you. Have a good night.
You guys be careful, okay? Have a good night.
Okay. That guy's the shit.
Just because you're dumb don't mean I'm dumb.
Let him have it, Laura. Let him have it.
You're all like, you're so...
What's cracking, girls? You guys lost or what? You're waiting for Uber? Where's Uber supposed to pick you up? All right, I don't want to see you walking up and down. Remember that, you know what you're doing, right? The thing is, when the cars are loitering around in circles several times, that's a violation. You're in violation of, you're in a known prostitution location, loitering. It's on my training experience. I've worked vice. If I see the cars going up and down, when I'm telling my partner, okay, pay attention to this car, pay attention to that car.
So at this point, how do you prove that he's a John?
How do I prove that he's a John? Yeah. I wouldn't get him for prostitution because I have to have the element. I have to be able to prove that there was an agreement of exchange of sex for something of value.
You have to see money
No, you don't. Just an agreement. So in other words, if at some point I stopped him and he would have told me, you know what, we separate him from the girl. He says, I'm gonna keep it real, man. You know what? I don't want to get in trouble. She offered me, she offered me, sex for $50. That's it. Okay, but at this point he's loitering. He's driving around in circles. He pulls up next to a prostitute. Prostitute pulls up.
It's okay.
Now you got them for loitering. And this is where we have a lot of the crime, because sometimes some of these girls are actually, they're connected with their pimps and they'll get a John and then they'll rob them. They'll do robbery.
Yeah.
Or they're just actually robbing anybody. No, trust me, right off the bat, they'll say, like, most of the time, like, dude, you know what you're doing here, right? Like, yeah. I go, look, you're better off having this and going to jail or having your wife find out that you're robbing. And they agree. They'll cop out to it right away.
That's really stupid, actually.
Yeah. So let me tell you this. So when I work vice, out of 10 arrests, and I'm talking about solid arrests where the girl gets in the car and agrees to have sex or whatever, I'm lucky if they file on maybe 1 or 2. There is like a small percentage, I can't tell you exactly what, but I think it could be like 3%.
It's 60%.
No, it's not. It's about 3%
wait.
on the citations. At the end of the day, like I said, for example, with me, I don't gain anything from it.
You personally?
Yeah.
Well, no, not you personally. It would be the police station, like your department, more specifically.
So basically, money, as far as like citations or money, it goes into a pool of money.
It may be somebody higher in rank that would probably profit from it, I guess.
No, it's trust me, it's not that easy. It's not.
Well, not.
See that? Silver BMW? Yeah.
65% of asset forfeiture proceeds go to law enforcement.
So where's that number come from? Yeah, but where are the numbers coming from?
From the department. Really get audited.
Even 65, like I said, I'm positive. It's like 3%.
What do you mean that you're positive? I'm looking at it. I'm looking under the audit of the LAPD's control overseas and forfeiture assets. This is the article. But this is where I'm getting this information from. I'm not pulling it out of my ass.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm just going based on what
you thought?
what I know.
Sorry.
Isn't Laura fantastic?
Yeah.
I'm great. I'm like I'm like a cookie.
The only thing is, I mean, Google, you can't completely believe everything.
Google isn't what gave me this information. The city of Los Angeles and their public audit report on LAPD is what's giving me the information.
But what exactly? What does it specifically state?
Official document.
I'll look it up out of curiosity.
See, look at this is the official document. City of Los Angeles, Office of the Controller, audit of LAPD's controls over seized and forfeited assets.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So it's a document.
Manual, that's a document. So now let me ask you this though: if there's a specific BC code, and there's a law that says, so if a law is implemented, we're bound by specific laws, and there's a purpose to there's a purpose to curtail particular crime, right? There's certain, again, I mean, we're not the ones that make the laws, just like
but
our job is to enforce the law, not to make it.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
so that's what our job is, and there's letter of the law and spirit of the law. If I conduct 10 traffic stops, do you really think I get 10 tickets?
No, you have police discretion, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the way I see it, I'm not going to stop somebody unless this person's truly endangering members of the community, and or that they're involved in some kind of crime. So I have to have probable cause to be able to stop the car. Okay, it could be a pretext stop, but again, it's a legal stop. Doesn't necessarily mean that at that point, once I talk to them, whatever, doesn't mean they're going to get a ticket or anything. It doesn't. But
what's your name? Sorry, again.
Bonilla. It's like vanilla, but sweeter. Okay.
If I Google you, I'm not going to see anything I don't like, right?
I don't know.
You don't know? You would know if I would see something I didn't like, right?
Oh, that depends on you. That depends on how you feel. You know?
Yeah. Have you had an OIS?
Remember, there's always three sides to story. So, I think the right way to ask me the question is there anything I'm worried about? I'd be worried about. Exactly.
Do you have an OIS?
Yeah.
Okay. So that officers with OISs are the most friendly. I swear to God, the one.
You know. I think a lot of it has to do with this. I think a lot of it has to do with this. Just like when I approach a car, okay. It's using tact in the way you approach somebody, and that's the truth. Like when I approach somebody, one of the things I try to tell them, the officers that I train, is, you know what, be mindful. Don't appear to be so. Just talk to somebody like a normal human being. Right? For example, when you have a guy pushing a ice cream cart, and for me to pull up and say, "Hey, buenos dias, cómo estás," and engage them in conversation. That, hey, you know what, you're not just trying so that they see that, hey, I'm no different than them. Okay, so no,
you have qualified immunity. No, you're a lot different than them.
Well, no.
Come on.
Again, so my point to you is this: it's all in how you approach an officer. Trust me. It really makes all the difference in the world. Well, no, I agree.
Some officers, there is not one right way you can approach an officer.
You remember, we're human too. Okay, but I agree with you. No, of course, there are some guys. There's some guys I don't want to work with. Okay.
So this is your. I swear, this guy looks familiar. That's the only reason I asked if he was in Harbor before, but you said he just come up. Yeah. Have you seen me before recording? I'm gonna look back and I'll find where I know you from, but I know you from somewhere.
And of course you're gonna Google me too, right?
Of course, no, I'm already gonna Google you. No, I'm saying in my own videos because I know I've seen him before.
It's all good.
All right.
Hey, Delgado.
Yes, sir.
Come over.
I like the way you follow orders. It's like a...
So basically, all that. It's good to see that. That's basically all they do.
That's not true at all. Everybody has their own style. Neither.
See the cops here?
Yeah, right there.
Woo! All right, sweetheart, it's time to go home.
Jesus Christ. Are you recording? Are you recording?
Yeah, I told you. Go home.
Huh? She must be freezing. I'm cold. I can't imagine. She's like icicles.
No, they actually their pimps will usually either give them drugs or they'll drink
so that they keep
don't
warm.
feel cold. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, that's a mask.
I'm
that's
not
a real number.
exaggerating.
50.
I've had girls who've been arrested 15 times and they've only filed twice. Okay, that's usually probation. I'll give you another example in California.
Like harassment. That sounds like harassment to be arrested 50 times.
Well, how many times do you think I talked to this girl?
I don't.
Do you realize that they're here every day? Listen, I know these girls by name.
But I mean, they're trying to make a living. They're trying to, aren't they?
Survive.
So you think you would be okay with your daughter?
Of course not. But like these are
I would rather her choose a different career, but
of course.
But
that
you
wouldn't be
realize
my.
that they're not doing it by choice. They're actually being forced to do it.
So then why are they being punished?
They're missing them. They don't file on it. I'm telling you.
Okay. I'll have to take your word for it.
You see, that's the whole thing. I'm supposed to take your word for it, but you don't take my word.
What do you mean you're supposed to take my word for it? I showed you what I was looking at.
Look up the stats on the minors, all right?
All right, but look up the 65%.
I will.
Okay.
There's no such thing.
There's a place.
Likewise.
I feel like your partner's not having a very good. Delgado, cheer up, man.
Come on, you can smile or something.
Yeah. He's got no say so.
You sure you got a party? Good. I said it.
That guy likes to talk. Jesus Christ.
Is there brights on behind us?
Me and Al been bonding.
Look at that. Look how bright we are right now. Look at, because this person's brights are on behind.
When I'm gone, I'll give you the key to the penthouse. You could stop by, but you know.
Oh yeah.
No. It was a nice comment.
Oh.
Somebody said because of you, this is a wonderful street.
Oh.
But it was like
Nice to be appreciated.
But we do it. Look, highway patrol.
Highway patrol, no fun.
What are you guys looking at?
It's no fun.
No, it could be. Why are they over here patrolling Linux? Denise is like, she's like, oh my God, your mom? She's, I forget what she said, but it was fucking funny. She was talking about what my mom must have went through.
What? Oh, when you were a kid?
Trying to raise me as a fucking overactive child. She's like, you're fucking exhausting.
No shit?
All right.
It was fun. You be careful too.
I will. Thank you for coming by and thank you for reminding me.
All right. I'll be back soon, I guess.
Okay. I'll call you if I get desperate.
I know you will.
All night recording cops.
I'm LaurasharkCW.
Because the only videos I follow is Laura Shark is always out here now. Tell Laura Shark we said hi.